Hello and welcome to this first part of what I believe will be a two-part tutorial of how to fly a low-level navigation followed by pop-up attack with rockets using the F-86 in DCS World. I've wanted to do this video for quite some time, but I haven't done that due to some technical limitations which I have been too lazy to overcome. The first one being that this is a time-based flight, sort of. So I wanted to show the viewers the time I'm actually looking at. So I wanted to add 3 timers down here. One for the time elapsed since the last waypoint, and one for the entire route, or actually the entire elapsed time, and one for the actual in-game time. But I haven't found a convenient way to do that, so I decided to just talk you through it, and those of you who are patient enough to watch all of it, you will still get the idea. I will also use the F10 map for navigation, which is a bit awkward when viewing on a video, I suppose, but that's how I do it in game, so at least you will get a good view of how it's done. Target today is at Mycop Airport. It's a single tank. We have good intelligence on this one. T-55 parked here. Time on target will be 12:20, and mission startup time is 12 o'clock. So that gives me about 5 minutes to start the engine and taxi towards the runway. I counted backwards from 12:20, and that gave me a startup time of 5:46 past the hour. And for my first leg here, I've guesstimated that it will take me from brakes released until I hit the first waypoint about 1 hour 30 seconds. I tried this because I've flown the route before, and it seems to be quite correct. It usually works out quite well on the first try as well, but now I tried it before and I know it works well, so hopefully I won't mess this up. This is like the 4th time I do this presentation already, so I hope to do the flight only once. But I've guesstimated 1 minute 30 seconds to get to the first waypoint, and on the second waypoint I've used higher speed and just done a calculated time of 350 knots to fly 6.4 miles, and that should take me about 1 minute and 6 seconds. And what I will actually do is that I will be accelerating during this part up to 400 knots. But then the average speed will maybe be around 350, so that's what I used for the calculation. Later on I will fly 400 knots for most of the route. As you can see, I put the waypoints on quite easily identified points along the route, like this river, this bridge here, and another bridge further down here, next to a big lake, which is also nice. As you can see in the description, I have noted a few items of interest regarding the route. First of all is waypoint number 1, and that is sometimes I put names on them, but I added a description at the end instead. If you can see on the second waypoint I have a heading of 080, which is correct according to this one as well, and I will fly for 1 minute and 6 seconds, and the total time elapsed when I hit the second waypoint should be 2 minutes and 36 seconds. You can also see a small description. It's a bridge, and then at the end it's the actual in-game time, which will be 12 hours 8 minutes and 22 seconds. I've done this, and you can see on the fourth waypoint you have quite a long flight time there. It's 3 minutes 45 seconds. So then it could be quite difficult to know if you've been keeping your speed correct or if you're on time. So I added a checkpoint in the middle, which is very easily identified. It's the shoreline here, and I should pass it after 1 minute 42 seconds, though no in-game time for that one. But then you can use it as a reference. If you're a bit late on the third waypoint, then hopefully you will pass this shoreline faster than 1 minute 42 seconds, maybe 1 minute 35. And then you know that you gained 7 seconds, then you can adjust your speed according to that. 6th waypoint, at this point I will be accelerating, because from this point on I will be using 500 knots. So I will start accelerating a bit earlier to compensate, because my calculations are done on an instantaneous speed increase. I guess there are ways to adjust for this. I don't know if there's any formulas for it, or if you can just try it out. But I found that it works fairly well. I accelerate a bit earlier, I keep the speed about 530 for a little bit, and then I decelerate to 500, and I have a checkpoint here as well, which is a power line that I should hit after 59 seconds. And when I'm here, I will know how I'm doing relative to that. My last waypoint, which is a geographical one, is a point here next to this bridge in this city. From there on, the last leg is only time-based. I will fly 500 knots on the same heading for 32 seconds, and then I will do my pop-up. And I have about a 45-50 degree offset, so I will see the target on my right hand side. I will do quite a high pop, and this is to get me into a position where I found that the settings I use in the F-86 works fairly well, and I'm aiming to be somewhere here at 6,000 feet, speed 400 knots with a 30 degree dive. Then my rockets will hit an impact point which I've set to be 50 mils on the sight. I know there are ways to use the radar, but I actually forgot how to do that, so this still works, and we'll see if I hit. So I think that's about it. I'll get back to the next part when I line up on the runway waiting for the startup time.